YouTube. Okay, my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense, and in this podcast, I go over a variety of topics in regards to the paranormal. And so I am going to do the daily reading today. Today I'm going to be working with one card today, one deck of cards, and this is my the first deck of cards that I purchased. I purchased these cards at Barnes and Noble. It's called the Psychic Tarot deck, and you may not be able to see it because it has faded out, but it's the Psychic Tarot deck cards here. And so I'm going to proceed to take these cards out now. I also like to state that this podcast is for entertainment purposes. That means that I don't go prying on, snooping on, or surveillancing anybody to get their information and things like that. When you begin to work with spirituality, spirit work, and work with God, you will begin to see that this is God at work. I kid you not, it's God at work. Whatever you deem God to be is God, essentially. Okay, simple as that. All right, so I'm trying to get this adjusted. So, all righty. So, now before I proceed into laying down my cards, for those who may be following or new to following my podcast or webinar, there's a few spreads that I use when I do my tarot card reading. The most favorite of the spreads that I use is the Celtic Cross spread, which is a 10-card spread. You have 6 cards that are in the middle that forms a cross, and then you have the 4 additional cards that give you more clarity. Card 1 is going to be what you're doing the reading on. This could be the person. It could be on a situation, or it could be on some insight or knowledge about something, whatever you are inquiring about. Card 2 is going to cross over card 1. So this is going to be the obstacle or barrier as to whatever the reading is on. Card 3 is going to be above the situation. This is something that you're trying to attain, or what is above that situation. Card 4 is going to be the root of the issue. This is the reasoning for what's going on. Card 5 is going to be what's occurring or what has occurred. Card 6 is going to be what's occurring or what is leading to. Card 7 is going to be the attitude and or morale. Card 8 is going to be what is physically surrounding that situation. Like, it could very well be what you physically see, or it could be what you're sensing that is around that person as well. Card 8 is going to be hope, spirits, and dreams. Sometimes you will often find that they tattle all into one. What you hope for, what you dream of, is also something that you are in fear of as well. Card 10 is going to be the outcome. And so let me proceed. So I have cut my cards and I scrambled them around, and I'm going to say a brief prayer. Father Supreme Being of all being, I don't know what I'm doing this reading on today, but I do feel like it's a relevant reading for today. Please give me infinite wisdom, knowledge, and capability as to what this reading is about. Now, for those individuals who are out there who are new to spirituality, spirit work, and tarot card reading, once you become a little bit more comfortable and experienced with the cards, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm expert, but I wouldn't consider myself to be novice. Many of times when I do the reading, I don't know what the reading is on. And when you begin to get off into the tarot card and spirit work, the thinking capability is totally different. Like the thinking process works different. It's just hard to explain. It works different. And he begins to put images in your head as to what this particular situation is applicable to. He can bring up, I mean, this is just outside of your common and your everyday reflection or memory on something. No. This is totally different. Like when you begin to get off into spirit work, you will see that it's like a lucid type of realistic understanding. It's way more enhanced. And he will put certain scenarios into your head to where okay, this applies to this situation. Also, he will bring in images of people who, it could be relatives, it could be celebrities, it could be somebody you've seen on the news or what have you. And if they are no longer here, he will begin to bring them into the place. And many a times, those spirits are being visited to you. You are being visited by those spirits. So say, for instance, if there's something that you're doing the reading on, and say for instance, you're doing the reading on a, God forbid, a murder or a homicide. And that's something that, as you lay the cards, he put in your being, okay, this reading is on a homicide or a murder. And you may think of a scenario in regards to a movie or, something that was well known with a particular celebrity that is similar to something that is occurring in this time in this space. And say, for instance, I'll give you an example, such as like Marilyn Monroe, just to name, just throw something out there. And somehow you feel, you will begin to feel like a pressure, like something coming towards your being. And it's just like, it sits right there. And that's how you will know that this reading is similar to what occurred with that particular celebrity, kind of, so to speak. And you would know that you're being visited by that presence because it would it's kind of like an OCD, like, oh my gosh, like this person want me to get the message out. Now, to people who are not conditioned to understand spirit and spirituality, they will say that that's Satan. No, it's not. That's God giving you a message by way of the message of this person. So if I say that I'm being visited by spirits, I'm being visited by the spirit of that particular person by way of God, is what I mean. Okay? It has nothing to do with witchcraft or devil work, because I have no need to control the next person, as I mentioned before, and it's not to be nasty or mean to the next person. This podcast, as well as this webinar, is optional. I'm not forcing nobody to believe in anything. I'm not charging anybody. I'm not, trying to recruit anybody. It's actually optional. I had an interest in this since I was a little girl, and as I've gotten older, God has opened up my eyes to a lot of things. He really has, about spirituality, spirit work, and things of that nature. Okay, so let me proceed. I'll set my reading, or my prayer, I'm sorry. And let me begin to pull my cards. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So as I sit here, let me get myself all set up. All right, and so I pulled the cards, and now I'm going to proceed to lay my cards down. And so we can get an idea as to what their reading entails. So 10, and bear with me because I have a lot of stuff and shifting my desk and everything around, a lot of things I didn't get off of my table that I did in the midst of having that shift. So do bear with me with that. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so and you know, let's get this adjusted as well. Okay. Now, I do feel as though this is in reference to a death. Okay, I do. Number one, I got moving on card. That's what I have here. I have a moving on card here. This is card 1. Somebody who has transition. Card 2, this is what crosses over. This is card 2. This is the barrier or the obstacle. Foundations and achievements. Card 3. Conflict and defeat. This is what is over the situation. This is what is over the situation. Somehow I feel as though this reading is in regards to somebody who is in the armed forces, is what I feel. I feel like it's presidential somehow. I honestly do. Somebody that is in the armed forces. The root of the issue, I have rejoice in celebration. This is the root of the issue. Somehow I feel as though it's a particular person that has transpired or transition that was in the media, and I'm not going to say, but I feel as though that somehow I feel like he felt that he was not respected prior to his transition. Like I feel as though he felt disrespected prior to his transition. Like he just was like, you know what? I this is not kosher. This is not right. That's what I feel. But and the reason why I say that is because I have the root of the issue is the rejoice in celebration. Like I don't feel as though I feel like he was probably very unhappy. That's what I feel. Prior to his transition. Card 4, rest and rejuvenate. So in saying that, it could very well be that he had some issues with rest, like there was it was a restlessness, and I do feel as though he was haunted by images, like images of the past. Is what I feel. I feel like he was haunted by images from the past, like on a consistent basis. Like I feel like it was kind of like an OCD. Images kept playing in his head over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and nothing would help. Nothing would help those images. The trauma that he experienced, and I'm assuming in a younger, past, hunted him at night. Somehow I feel like he could not rest. He had problems with resting. He had problems with sleeping. Something is letting me know. And see, that's why I say I don't like giving too many personal readings, because I don't want people to feel like I have snooped on. I'm just simply going off of what impressions are presented to me. Okay. So that's why I don't want to, specify no specific particular person. But I'm just going to give you an example as to how I feel about this situation and what is being presented to me. I feel like this person had some trauma in his life prior to him getting into the service. That's what I feel. Like, I feel as though he was put into service to cover up disparities and things that happened in his past. It was kind of like a cover, so to speak. And they use one thing to cover up something that transpired in his past. That's what I feel. Something happened, because I get the fertility card here. So it could be very well something that transpired in his mom's birth, like his birth by his mom. Something traumatic happened to his mom, and in turn trickled down into something that happened with him. Because many times, as they say, curses and generational curses, sometimes people can be targeted for certain things, and as a result, that's what we would consider a curse to be. Because I just did a podcast where I mentioned about curses, and this is why people don't want to give power to curses and don't want to acknowledge curses and as such. So I do understand that you may not necessarily call it a curse, but essentially that's, in layman's terms, what it is. But I feel as though something traumatic happened with this person during his birth to his mother, is what I feel. And to cover it up, he was put into the armed forces to cover up those things, is what that is. 7, the attitude. Karma. Typically when I get the universe card, which is the attitude, this is in reference to karma. I feel as though because of that, he was ostracized and intimidated to keep from telling on what they did and did not do for him. And they placed him around those similar spirits to, in other words, shut your mouth, close your mouth and keep your mouth shut, so to speak. And I honestly feel as though this is the case, what happened with him. I honestly do. You don't indulge what I got going over here. Card 9 or card 8, base. I honestly feel like I feel like this person was set up by his own colleagues, because I get the base chakra card. I feel as though he was offered something to cover up something that transpired back in his younger years. In other words, kind of like, to compensate for something that happened. And as a result of it, I just give you an example. As a result of it, it perpetuated towards this transition, is what I feel. I just put it that way. Card 9, hopes, fears, and dreams. I have emotional loss. I feel as though this person was very fearful. This person could not rest. This person was very fearful, is what that was. Something tells me it's somebody above this person that he was in fear of, that traumatized him. That's what I feel. Card 10, stand your ground. It's the outcome. I feel like somebody threatened him. And I feel as though many of those individuals live in fear because they are threatened. And I feel as though this is a massive governmental study about how life truly works. That's what I feel. And it does not happen as you think it happens. I feel like this person was threatened. That's what I feel. And things that you see go on, you keep your mouth shut. And when you don't keep your mouth shut, this is where you're going to head to. What I feel. I haven't contacted nobody. I haven't spoken with anybody at all. Period. Period. But when God lays something on my heart, he gives me a chill. Like right now, I am a little cold. But this right here is a different chills. This is goosebumps. This is the spirit. I feel as though this person is threatened. What I feel. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And you have to be very careful. Many times when you go on camera and go on radio, it's because something has transpired in your life. And people need to watch you and those around you, because you are dealing with some demonic spirits, just in case no one has told you so. And you got a lot of people that walk around with this celebrity type of mentality that everything revolves around them, and they are wrong. And how people push them up to forefront something that is under their name. That is not how life works. And somebody has you wrong. That's what I feel. And so with that being said, I'm going to close out this presentation for today on my tarot card reading. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, no inappropriate questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, you have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.